Hello, my loves. This is Heidi Hancock with your weekly oracle reading for September 14 to 20. Holy cow, we are in it now, and I don't foresee it clearing, so to speak, because of the Mars retrograde that we have until the end of the year. So, a couple metaphors that are showing up now. I'm in Portland, Oregon. Oregon apparently has the worst air quality in the world right now. So funny that I'm sitting at that epicenter while I do this message. But the couple metaphors that are coming through right now are obviously air quality, not great. Visibility, not great. And last week, right before, we had a windstorm that probably was what kicked up the fires so badly. And I went for my regular hike, and it was almost impossible to even get to the hike because there was trees down and I had to go around. I finally did get to the path, but then on the path there was a ton of debris on the trail and a couple of trees down to where I couldn't even go on it. So I thought, isn't this beautiful? Beautiful, beautiful metaphor. All of the things that have been pushed to the side, neatly tucked away from our vision, from our awareness, are now right here, right in front of us. We can no longer ignore the things that we have conveniently ignored. We have been taught to ignore these things, so make no mistake. We have been taught to ignore these and stay on the hamster wheel and do what, the government, the control energies, whatever you want to look at, however you want to look at that, have been wanting us to just stay on the hamster wheel and feed the energies of life that are benefiting the few. And so here we are now. We can no longer ignore that. So it's really a beautiful moment, although it feels crazy. And it's just like this one thing after another. My husband and I were joking this weekend, like, you remember COVID? I mean, you remember when things seemed easier? And it's just one thing after another. So we have this metaphor of like all the junk being in our view, right? In our, we haven't seen the sky for a week. So it's right there. There's no ignoring that there's a problem. There's no ignoring all the stuff, right? And the beautiful metaphor of that in your life is all of the stuff that you have ignored is right here, right now. So it's the perfect time to look at it and to make change, because what's beautiful about being able to see it is once you can see it, you can acknowledge it, you can change it, you can move it, you can shift it. If you don't see it's there, if you're conveniently ignoring it, you can't move it and can't change it. So now are all of the sobering truths that are coming out of this, right? So that's the other piece. There's this feeling of like your face is sunburned, either from the actual heat and smoke, or just that feeling of like, I'm fried, I can't take any more. And what's beautiful about that, it's creating this sobering effect that is causing the requirement, that's not even a word, it's requiring us to look at it and deal with it. And the sobering part of that is that we have to acknowledge how we have participated in the way that the world currently is, or the way that our individual life is also. If we have bad eating habits, if we've gained weight, if we're not taking care of our minds, we're not taking care of our work, our home, our family, our relationships, whatever it is, whatever those things are going to be right in your face right now. And so there's a sobering effect in the moment that's like, oh my God, I have to actually deal with the fact that I've gained weight since, COVID started. Oh yeah, I've been emotionally eating. Oh yeah. This whole mind-body connection. If your gut's a mess, your mind's going to be a mess. If your mind's a mess, you're probably not taking care of your body well either. I heard someone just recently talk about they use this terminology that we have two temples, the body and the mind. And what I love about that is it makes it so simple and so clean and so easy. If you're taking care of your mind, if you're meditating, if you're taking care of your body, you're eating well, you're going to be okay. The state of your gut affects the state of your mind. The state of your mind affects the way that you're eating and taking care of your body. So if you can focus on those two things, as well as you can, hoping that you have shelter and safety and everything else right now. So that's kind of the gist. Let's see. Was there anything else I wanted to say? Let's just see what the cards have to say, because wow, it is sobering. That was the only other thing I was really going to talk about, the sobering aspect. Last week I talked about us falling off of our internal pedestal, and that's kind of continuing. The sobering reality that we have to hold responsibility for what we've participated in. Oh, don't you just love it? I mean, seriously. The vessel. We have to take care of the vessel that we move around in. Absolutely perfect. Absolutely perfect. Make those spaces in your home special. I just did this morning. I have an altar. Well, I have an altar in almost every room in the house, but I have an altar in the bedroom, and it's been currently in the smallest corner in the bedroom, and I just moved it this morning into another corner that was just, had a chair in it where things went to die, and I moved it and just switched the corners, and it completely shifted the energy in the room, because now the altar has more of a sacred space that's held there. Okay, the vessel. Here it is again. Look at this beautiful image of the body inside that container. The body, the container, the cup. The vessel may be the most powerful archetypal form on earth. It is everywhere. Cups hold liquid, stoves hold fire, our bodies hold organs, our homes hold families. Through the simple act of separation, the vessel protects what it contains. Nests protect the eggs, savings accounts protect our earnings, even the planets are contained within their circular orbit. When this card appears, it's time to assess what is being held together and how. Is the vessel too tight, too loose, broken, empty, full, or perhaps there is no vessel at all and the contents spill in every direction? It is natural for structures to be formed and eventually fall apart. The vessel has a life cycle that must be honored. It is time for you to build, break, or repair. You must find out. I love this piece. It is natural for structures to be formed and eventually fall apart. So I've lived in the same home for 11 years, and that altar has probably been in that corner most of that time. And it's like, it just came to a point where I just felt, okay, the energy's got to move in here. It's got to shift. It's time to go. When light, stable, strong, graceful. When dark, trapped, being in a bubble. Go deeper. Loving Cup by the Rolling Stones. Great. I love it. Listen to that song. So a little bit like last week. So when light, stable, strong, graceful. When dark, trapped, being in a bubble. So we're kind of straddling both of those right now, right? We're trapped. We're in a bubble. Many of us here in Oregon, Washington, California are stuck in their homes right now. We're stuck in that bubble. When light, stable, strong, graceful. So another piece that I don't think I mentioned quite yet is we're in this odd time and space between time. And I don't really even know how to say that other than to just say that we're in the time between time. And it feels like it's probably connected to that Mars retrograde, that we feel that pulling back, kind of that inhale to pull back so that the Venus, the feminine energy, can come forward and give us information. But it's like, the past is here, the future is here, and we're somewhere in the middle just going, okay, shit, which direction are we going now? The physical body is the most sacred vessel of all. It is the one in which you reside from your first breath to your last. It may need your attention. The mentor and the healer must pay particular attention to this archetypal form. Healing cannot be sustained without a strong container. I have learned this 100% in my healing work. If I do not take care of my body, take care of my mind, do energy healing work on myself, if I do not exercise, if I do not eat well, I am not good to my clients. I have to stay as a clean container so that I can be a strong instrument and a clear presence and message for my clients. So 2 things that I practice regularly and that I had let go of just recently that I brought back in, and I'd love to share them with you. Morning routine. I use a large mason jar, the quart size, full lemon squeezed with some warm water. Fill it all the way up. Drink it first thing in the morning. Don't even brush your teeth first. First thing out of bed, wait a half an hour, and then make at least 16 ounces of celery juice. Drink that all the way, and then wait another half an hour, and then you can eat whatever you're going to do. If you do nothing else for yourself, do those 2 things. Even if you don't have a juicer, or you can also blend it in a Vitamix and use a cheesecloth to drain it out if you don't have a juicer. But those 2 things, I had gotten off the path. I have an autoimmune issue, and I had gotten off the path, and my health had started to deteriorate because of it, and I realized it and was like, whoa, I got to get back on it. So I started it just 3 days ago, and I'm already way better. So if you can do those 2 things for yourself, or even just the lemon water, you will feel so much better. When your gut is healthy, your mind is healthy. The 2 are so linked, we cannot divorce them. So if you're eating garbage, your mind is going to be racing, full of garbage. It's not going to be able to be still and steady and take care of you. And of course, meditation. If you're new to it, start with 5 minutes. It doesn't have to be a long time. If you can get to 30, I find that is the critical point. 20 is great too, but 30, something about 30 just like brings it right home. And allows you to kind of drop in and feel more grounded. So blessings this week. I wish you well. Take care of yourselves. Now I was railing against having to wear masks, and now I'm like, okay, yeah, wear a mask because of the smoke. But, we got to listen to our internal gut. We got to listen to our internal guides. And if your gut's a mess, you're not going to be able to receive the wisdom that you need to from your guides. So take care of yourself. Do what you can. And, even if you can't exercise right now, diet, I say, trumps exercise if you have to choose one. All right. Love you. Blessings. Mwah.